Wait, the knee pit's very important.
Yeah, we don't even know the name of it. It's like, that's how forgettable it is.
Oh, okay.
But it was
Are there
literally...
any pre-meds that actually know what it is? No?
See, even they don't know.
Wow.
I just know that this piece of skin on the elbow is called the wenis.
Anyways,
But yeah, it was our art department where we went to class. It was like kind of underground. It wasn't painted. It was pure concrete. It was dirty. There was scraps of wood and metal all over the place, and paint splatters, and like they like to say that it was because they were like letting us express ourselves. No constraints to our creativity, but I think they just didn't want to spend any effort to make it look nice.
And a lot of the classes, they taught us a lot of theory, which is great. You know, you always want to learn theory because that, you know, transcends, you know, time. But sometimes it's good to know technical stuff too, right? Like, you know, I'm sure at USC film school or UCLA film school, you go to like a class. This is how you use a camera. You look at a camera, they teach you how to use a camera. But in our class, it was like, how does this camera make you feel? Now write 10 pages about it and how it makes you feel and what you think you want to accomplish with it. And it's like, no, I want to actually make stuff. So this greatly affected us because it forced us to just learn pretty much everything on our own.
we're very good at BSing papers now.
Yeah. That camera made me feel lots of wonderful things. 10 pages worth.
I learned you use the word juxtapose a lot, and you use the word like synergy, contrasts, and the landscape of this film, or the terrain of, you use words that just like you use those for like geology or whatever, but you use them in film terms, and it's like has a whole new meaning. Those are my little tricks that I learned. That's what I learned in college.
How to BS, yes. So we had to learn all these things on our own, and I mean it was good in the sense that it made us very resourceful. And I say that is important because, you know, after you're out of, you know, the college world where you have to just find all the materials and you need to make things on your own, you don't have, you know, the college media department backing you up. It's important to be resourceful. And I say this because we have friends that went to film school and they were educated very well there, like all the right protocol for making a film. And they're like, man, I really want to make this movie or this short, but I need like $50,000 to make it. And we're just like, what? What are you talking about? Like, you need like $50, maybe. And but I mean, it makes sense because the way that they want to do it, like they want to have like, you know, huge crews and all, like, you know, insurance and like things that you don't really need, like permits, you know. And we're just like telling them, like, come on, you don't need that stuff. We don't.
Well, there's a time and place for that kind of money.
Yes.
And when you're starting out, you can spend all your time trying to get that money to make your film, or you can just make your film.
Yeah. And just always be looking around for security guards. No, because like a lot of these people, you know, they have this idea and they sit on it for like 3-5 years and they don't have one film to show for it, but they're all saying, man, but that one movie that I want to make. But it's like, well, in the meantime, you could have been making like other stuff. And that's really how we work. I mean, sometimes, you know, when we have it's to do things with permission, we'll definitely that route. But a lot of the stuff that we make is just us three on a sidewalk and looking out for security guards too. Even though that we're at whatever level we are now, you know, we still have to, like, you know, do a lot of guerrilla stuff. And I think it's good for us. You know, it keeps us you know, fresh. Like, not to get too comfortable.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Right.
And these videos are actually a very good example of this if you want to work backwards. Like, so the last one, Shell, I mean, was made for
The only thing bought,
$5.
yeah, the only thing bought for that, or the budget was to buy that shell. Basically it. The two actors are friends that we thought were pretty good. The script was written by us in one afternoon. It was shot by the two of us. I was on camera, Phil was on sound. that's it. And that's what we made. And you know,
And the locations.
locations. Yeah,
The park was a free park.
It's free.
Everything's free. It's public.
Not a public park, but
It was free.
okay.
And the apartment was where she was living at the time, so we just resourceful.
yeah, and we spent like $20 to buy the shell, and then
That thing cost $20. You spent $20 on that?
it cost more than that.
Oh my god. We need to start going over your Wong
You returned it, right? You returned it?
No, I listen to it every night before I go to bed.
At least you're using it.
I'm using it.
If you're not using it, return it. Throw it back in the ocean.
Yes, Dad. No, but it got accepted to this international short film festival. So it's like, it really kind of is a good signifier of what you can do with very little, I think.
And then Kung Fu, that was literally on a sidewalk in an alleyway. We just got our friends together and we're like, hey, let's make this. It was a funny script and it's good fun acting, and you get a really fun short out of it. And this is just, it's making a little look like a lot. It's all about story. It's all about really what you're shooting, not how you're shooting it. The music video, we actually had a budget for that one, so basically when we have a budget, that just means not calling in favors. Like, we've called in a lot of favors, like, oh, come on, just help us out with this one. And so sometimes it's good to just be like, okay, we actually can pay you for this, or we can actually get a permit for this beautiful location, and stuff like that.
So yeah, budget went to, we rented that location, a warehouse. We rented the scaffold. We rented a scissor lift to build the scaffold. We had a production designer that would just, he built the doors, the door frames, all those things you don't really think about. That warehouse was empty when we walked in, and we needed to bring all that stuff together.
I learned how to build scaffolding. That was fun.
But that's not to say we don't still have some Wong Fu-ness in that video. Like those rocks, the pebbles, we didn't want to buy those, so we just.
Who buys rocks?
I don't buy rocks. So
on the side of the street, there's rocks.
So we just asked a friend, like, hey, you have rocks in your backyard, right? bring a few buckets of those, please. And we tied the strings on, and then
Actually, no, we taped some of them on.
we taped some of them on.
No, we're frauds. We're frauds.
And then we just put the rocks back. It's great. It worked out.
So yeah, this is how we make stuff nowadays, and it goes back and forth between. But yeah, really.